this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to the Werewolf Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. In the last chapter, Twilight gave birth to a little foal named Stone. He inherited his mother's chestnut coat and his father's blue eyes and vanilla mane. On Sunday afternoon, Master Eugene had his teenage birthday and developed the hot-headed trait. This came about due to the false rumors about his mother and their family towards the end of his childhood, causing him to be easily reactive to such matters. Lady Helen began his training, and it took 3 sessions before Eugene defeated the Kennel Master in armed combat. Harvey wasn't happy to hear that his closest friend was more talented than him, and began feeling like Eugene was more of a threat than previously anticipated. Okay, we are going to dive straight into some of the notes that we have, starting off with Helen over here. So Helen wants to embrace Lady Ada. Now, where is Ada? She should be in this room. Okay, excellent. Let's go up to her and embrace her then. Hopefully. Is it an affection? Is it an intimacy, maybe? I don't remember where the embrace is. We might have to line up a few romantic interactions here to get this worked out. I suppose because their romance is just so bad. We're gonna try though. We're gonna try. We're gonna work towards it. Come on, let's keep lining up these interactions. We need to try and get the embraced out. And then I can talk more about what's going on here. So, compliment appearance. Why not? She's like backtracking at this point. She's backtracking and come on, it's gonna take like a little bit more effort. Ignore Ralph. I know, I'm sorry about this, but just ignore Ralph. It's gonna take a little bit more effort with Ada, but you should be in a good place with her in a second here. Okay, let's just make a flirtatious joke. Oh really? Your relationship is that bad with her that it's not gonna improve? Okay, maybe instead of an embrace, we'll just leave it at the few things that we lined up, because I don't want to force it too much, where we, change the relationships drastically. Essentially, Helen wants to embrace Ada and reclaim some of the physicality they had before. She's continuing to feel disconnected with the people around her, and is seeking solace in Ada's attention. So, some of us in the comments have been saying that it is so sad. She and Ralph, their relationship has turned to dust. There is nothing there between them at all. Like, nothing bad or good. And it's surprising that in this generation, we didn't even have a single fated couple that ended up having a happy ending. I mean, the generation hasn't ended yet. You never know what could happen. But I think this is like the only fated mate pair we have left, and they're not even happy, which is so sad. And it got me thinking, guys, we actually have Master Eugene and Master Edwin, who are unrelated to each other and to all of the princes. So in the future, we may very well end up having some sort of romance within our boys, among our boys. And hey, that would be interesting. Obviously, this is going to be dependent a lot on autonomous interactions they have and the whims. I don't know if they'll end up being each other's fated mates. Obviously, they're not going to start breeding or anything like that until we have the next alpha in the next generation. But they could always start a romance with someone, and they could end up finding their fated mate. I think that would be very interesting if it does happen. A potentially new storyline that we haven't explored yet. But yeah, Helen, her relationship with Ralph is pretty much non-existent. And oh no, she's gonna slap Ada. I don't think their relationship's gonna work out either. But anyways, she has her own prejudices against Ralph as someone from, the military classes of werewolf society. That was a reason for her own ancestors' downfall. She doesn't like it. Why is Ralph wearing a dress? I have no words. But yeah, for that reason, she prefers to keep a distance from him, even though she's drawn to him. The logical side of her mind just cannot, I think, justify being with him because of that. And so she would rather stay connected with Ada, even though she struggles with her jealousy and she can't stand the fact that Ada belongs to the alpha, despite that, she still wants Ada's attention and she still wants some physicality with Ada, but she takes, I feel like, one step forward, and then 2 steps back. So that's not working out either. Now, she also wanted to chat with Michael. So where is Michael? Can we find him? Okay, Michael's all the way down here. Well, in that case, I need to clear up Michael. And we need you ready for our attention. Thank you very much. So, yeah, she's gonna go down. She's gonna chat with Michael. But Helen also wants to chat to Michael about the rumors he is spreading. She's hoping they can come to a diplomatic agreement not to target Ada and Eugene's activities in the pack. In her own way, she's trying to protect them. So I love the fact that our werewolves have multiple sides to them. They're not all good or they're not all bad, and sometimes they do things with mixed emotions. So on one hand, she craves Ada's attention, but she's jealous of Ada being with the alpha, so she takes it out on Ada by slapping her. But then in the background, she also wants to protect Ada and Eugene, so she's talking to Michael to tell him to, back down a little bit. Try and be more reasonable. They're all in the same pack. They're all part of, the same engine, so to speak. He really, his place here has also been granted by Ada being here, so it's not doing him any good if Ada's reputation suffers and if Ada's going through a hard time. So she's trying to be diplomatic about it as the kennel master. And I mean, yes, the kennel master, they go and ensure the youngsters are trained, but I feel like another aspect of the kennel master's role, look, now she's very angry, now she's yelling at him, she's pissed off, he wasn't agreeing and now she's pissed off. But I feel like another aspect of the kennel master is actually making sure all the werewolves are well looked after and that they are doing well. So, maintaining peace between the werewolves, all of those kind of things. Yes, the alpha gives direction and the alpha grants roles and, basically dishes out punishment. But I feel like the kennel master is kind of the one who maintains things. So this is of importance to her. But now, yeah, she's very, very, very angry. Okay, so that was Helen, and the next person we have notes on is Julia. So Julia, she wants to cloud gaze with Michael, but it is kind of a bit late for that. We'll get her to go and socialize with him though, because this is also important. Okay, I'm gonna have to just get you to take a break from this, honey. Just take a break from that. Okay, Michael, you need to take a break from getting yelled at. And we need to come here and we need to... I don't think we want to be affectionate with him. I don't think so. Let's see, let's just discuss interests with him. Okay. The queen's gonna come and discuss interests with Michael straight off to Helen has talked with him. But the alpha wanted to cloud gaze with Michael, so Julia wanted to cloud gaze with Michael and give him a friendly warning about his behavior. She doesn't want her wife to feel pressured by her family and for her stepson to be influenced by people of lower status. So I feel like Julia, she obviously, is affectionate of Ada and by extension is affectionate of her stepson Eugene, but she, I think, looks down a little bit on Ada's family, and in particular she looks down on Michael. So I mean, yeah, she mated with him, but that was part of the ritualistic fighting and breeding and matches that the werewolves do. Everyone has roles and everyone tries to do the duties that are attributed to their roles in matches. That's kind of out of the queen's hand for the most part. But aside from that, I feel like there is a part of her that looks down on Michael for being a bastard child, and as such, she looks down on Ada's family a little bit because her father, ended up having a bastard child or produced a bastard child. So I think the fact that, I think the fact Michael is going around doing these things that is like putting down Ada when he's of lower status than Ada is irritating the queen, and she doesn't like the fact that he's doing that. So she essentially told him to cap it and that she's going to be keeping an eye on him and he better not be spreading any more rumors to make Ada uncomfortable. So both Helen and Julia are trying their best to protect Ada in their own way, and they're both seeking out Michael to do that, which, you know, is cute, but also it's intriguing. They have different ways of going about different things. So that was that. She also wants to make out with Ada. So why don't we get... oh, actually, can you go outside maybe? Where is Ada? Ada is here. Maybe you guys can just come outside. So you come out here. Look, now Ada's talking to her brother. Oh my goodness. That was funny. That was funny. The fact that Helen sought out Michael and told him to stop it, and then Julia sought out Michael and told him to stop it, and then Ada sought out Michael and she was like, well, are you going to stop it? So Michael's being targeted by everyone. I find that hilarious. Okay, Julia's gonna come here and leave the horse. Leave the horse. Okay, can we go ahead and... would it be make out, or do I have to just settle? Okay, there we go, they can. They can, excellent. So Julia also wants to make out with Ada and prove to her that the alpha is powerful enough to stop people from taking advantage of Ada. She's hoping, despite their frequent little arguments, they can be a happy married couple. Which makes sense because... oh, Twilight. Hello, Twilight. Twilight's just staring at the makeout. Twilight, your gaze is quite intense and is a little bit disturbing. This is a private moment. If you could just back up a little bit and not be, you know, right up their faces, that would be nice. Oh, look, now she's bored. Twilight was like, what are they doing? Why are they eating each other's faces? So yeah. Oh, Twilight. Oh, Twilight. As soon as they finished, she got bored and she like turned away. Anyways, Julia over here, she has lost her fated mate. He's dead. And, you know, she killed Ada's mate, so Ada's mate is dead. Basically, they don't have anyone else to turn to. They only have each other. And I also feel like they've given up a lot at this point to be with each other. So she definitely wants to maintain a happy marriage with Ada. I don't think Julia even knows, you know, despite the romantic entanglements she has with, like, all these other people, I don't think she knows if she's ever gonna marry again. And Ada is, like, the one wife. She's had experience with, you know, multiple wives. None of them worked out. And she married, I think she married Ada after the other two. So she, wait, did she marry Ada after she married Catherine? No, yeah, she definitely did, but was Catherine alive at the time? I think she married Ada after Catherine died. I think so. Anyways, regardless, I don't feel as though she has ever thought about having multiple spouses again. I mean, that whole experience was a terrible experience for her. For everyone, really. It didn't make anyone happy. I think she might have matured a little bit over the years and learned something over the years. And so she kind of wants to dedicate herself, she wants to dedicate herself to the one spouse. And she wants to make sure that Ada is happy and that their marriage lasts, despite, you know, whatever other entanglements they might have. So I think that's what's going on here with Julia. There's definitely going to be a part of her, like a childish part of her, that wants to flaunt her authority and wants to be like, look what I did. I told someone to, you know, shut their trap and they had no choice but to listen to me. Look what I did. I'm using my authority to protect you. And definitely she is more show-offy about it, whereas Helen isn't. Helen kind of does things in the background and she's not seeking credit for it, which makes me kind of like her a lot more. But, you know, everyone's doing their own thing. So I found it very interesting that our werewolves, they were they were centered around Ada this time around, and they were trying to protect Ada from the rumors and stuff. I thought that was so cool. Like, literally, the person she has a good relationship with romantically and the person she has a terrible relationship with romantically, they're both trying to go out of their way to protect her. So that was actually really, really nice. And that is kind of what we have with everyone for now. Charlie, I don't think, has aged up. Nope, he is still a child. I'm not sure when he's going to age up, but you know, we have all this time in between before we have, oh my goodness, Elma's birthday into a young adult. Wow, he's aging up quite quick. Quite quick. And then, you know, beginning of winter is when all of this is going to end. Hey, okay. Fascinating. Most fascinating. It is Tuesday morning, and we are picking up at the Wolf Hunt restaurant. This time with a focus, hopefully when he's not walking through tables, on Harvey. Some of us have been saying that Harvey's character is getting more and more interesting as the episodes go by, and I have to agree with you. Like, the further we go along these chapters, the more we get to see his personality grow, and, you know, given everything he's been through and the way he's been acting after the particular trait he got, I think has fascinated a lot of us with him. And now he's, you know, he's seeing things, he's doing things, he's acting in ways that is showing a little bit more of his true self, and then us having to figure out, okay, why is he acting this way when he's supposed to be acting completely different? Like, he's evil. Why is he suppressing that side so much? But then he gives us these inklings of his inner thoughts, and it kind of makes us squirm in our seats and go, ooh, okay, that's exciting. Anyways, Harvey here, he wants to be friendly with Ada, so I'm going to see if I can line up, maybe tell an engaging story to Ada. Can we go and tell an engaging story? Yes, okay. So he wants to be friendly with Ada because he wants to know her plans for Eugene. He's nervous about Eugene's talent in sword fighting and is worried that extra support from the pack members will allow his best friend to outshine him come the succession. So yeah, he's having a friendly conversation, you know, with his stepmother right now, but it's different to the way Elma was talking to Ada. Elma was trying to comfort Ada, but Harvey, he's got a different agenda here. He is not trying to get close and cozy with his stepmother. He doesn't care too much for that relationship. Instead, he's like strangely being nice to her now and having a friendly discussion about Eugene, because after seeing the sword fighting that happened and the training sessions in the previous chapter, he's now worried. He's never seen Eugene as a threat, which is why Eugene has kind of been his best friend, but suddenly his best friend is like better than him, and he doesn't like that because Eugene is a noble, he's not a prince. So after that, we're going to get him to chat with Lady Helen, who is right here. So can we share a secret maybe? Do you want to share a secret with the Kennel Master? Maybe complain about parents. Oh, wrong sim. No. I went Harvey. Harvey. Discuss fitness techniques. Let's go do that. Okay, are you chatting with her? Okay, good. So Harvey also wants to chat with Helen about training among the boys. He doesn't think it's a good idea for everyone to spar in private and would rather the Kennel Master give the princes one-on-one lessons. So if you remember, I think in the previous chapter, see, look, again, he had this this notification that says it might be coincidence, but Harvey can't shake the feeling that others are constantly judging him. And that happened as soon as he spoke to the Kennel Master, which is crazy. So in the previous chapter, I think Helen was talking to Elma, and I think she told Elma? Who was it? I think she told Elma. Or maybe Elma said it to her. I'm pretty sure she told Elma that it would be a good idea for the youngsters to start practicing amongst each other for, additional training. That would be good for them in the long run and help hone each other's skills, especially with the people who are falling behind a little bit, like Eugene, which Elma was on board for. Obviously, Harvey has heard this somewhere. Maybe Elma talked to him about it, and after seeing how good Eugene was at sword fighting, he doesn't like that idea. He doesn't like the fact that the masters might get additional training and they might end up being better than him. And he tried at least to suggest to Helen that she should focus on the princes and she should give the princes one-on-one lessons, which I feel as though Helen would have turned down. She would have said, no, I have to think for, all of the kids. I have to think for all of the wolves instead of just the princes. Or, strength doesn't discriminate between status. So he's obviously not too happy about that. And then he feels, a little bit judged. And I think Harvey's wondering, did I say too much? Did I kind of let loose the fact that I am insecure about my own strength and my own powers? So it's been a while since he's felt this way. There was a very short period between his transformation and Eugene's birthday when he actually felt like the strongest wolf in the world, and that he was just as good as Elma. But now some of that insecurity is starting to seep in again, which is not that great. Oh my goodness, Edwin, you need to get down from this horse and you need to go to academy, my kid. So he was riding because he hasn't ridden before. Well, actually, before this point, he hadn't. And I don't think Ed has gone riding ever. He has no riding skill, unfortunately. So, okay, is he going? I think he should be getting a move on. Can we take you to... Are you going to take the horse with you to academy? Is he going to take the horse with him? That would be curious, no? That would be very curious. Are you taking the horse with you? Or are you going to dismount? Oh, okay, took the horse with him. Well, that's great. As long as it's going to academy, that is fine. Now Stone's with us. I mean, hey, we can take Stone back home in a second here. But that's what I wanted to hone in on this time around. Did Charlie just age up? Oh, that's exciting. Okay, guys, Holly, whoa, I'm combining names. Charlie aged up into a child, so I'm going to give him a makeover. We're going to move him into the royal grounds, and then we get to do an archery contest with Charlie. So that's exciting. We are picking up on Tuesday night, and Charlie has been given his makeover. He has moved in with us. We need to get into the archery contest pretty soon, but let's just, take a quick look at him. Guys, I think now that I've seen all the kids in their, child form, I think out of all the kids we have had, Charlie is my favorite kid. This might change completely when, everyone becomes a teenager. In terms of my favorite character right now, it's definitely still Harvey, because, he's got this really interesting thing going on that I'm quite invested in, and the way his personality is developing is very fascinating to me. So he's still my favorite character, but if we're talking about the child stage, Charlie, I think, is my favorite child, even more than Harvey was. But let's just take a look at him. He's got, the pale skin. We already know his genetics, the white hair. He's got the dark blue eyes. Now, the thing that makes him fascinating, he has randomized the mean trait, guys. The mean trait. So this boy right here is going to be a bit of a troublemaker. I'm not entirely sure what kind of trouble he's going to cook up just yet. And I find it fascinating that he's dressed in red and, he is mean, but hey, who knows what color correlation that has. But I'm excited, and especially with, I don't know, he gives me a mean look as well. He looks mean to me. Am I the only one who sees this? He matches, his appearance matches his trait. He looks like a bit of a prissy mean kid. So I don't know in what way this is going to manifest. We're going to wait and see, let him develop his own story, but we are going to take him to do the archery contest straight away. So let me get Charlie. He needs to challenge Eugene. I think it's Eugene? then Edwin, then Ed, Javi, and Elma. Okay, so he has, you know, at least 2 archery contests to get through for him to rank with the princes. So he's kind of got it a little bit tough, but we're gonna go get him to challenge Eugene. Actually, I might move Eugene up. I might tell Eugene to just come upstairs. So let's come here. Eugene, you come up as well. The new prince needs to challenge you. He hasn't made enemies with anyone. And he actually wants to become friends with Eugene. But look, he wants to become enemies with Roy. Obviously, those kind of big ones I don't complete. I'd rather them just do them through their own interactions, autonomously. If they have, you know, the small interactions like be mean or something like that, then I'll definitely do that. But for now, this is kind of where we are at. This is where we are at. I think I don't go through with the become enemies, but usually if a sim has a relationship that's bad enough, then they have the whim to declare as enemy. Or is it become enemies? What is how? Oh, he already has a bad relationship with Roy. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if that means he might in the future have it out for Elma because Roy is Elma's father. Huh. This is interesting. Do you guys remember if maybe this is a want that we go through? Maybe it is. You know, if this is a case and it persists, I might actually end up doing that. And this is the only enemy want we've had. So Should we do it? I mean, we can get them to be enemies, but the thing is, because Charlie's not evil, he's not gonna go murdering anyone. If this was something that Harvey had, only evil Sims, I feel like, should be able to murder aside from the alpha. But you know, the alpha does it, it isn't considered murder, but yes, they also do that. Okay, you know what, I'll lock that in, because I don't know why in my head I had it that there were 2 whims, become enemies and declare enemy, but I think it's the same. I think it's just this whim. Well, in any case, since they already have a bad relationship, he's got the become enemies want. I think I'll fulfill that for him, but you know, after his archery contest. So he's already making trouble. More so than, with Eugene. More so than Javi did. Like, Javi's done nothing if we think about it. Javi's done nothing since he's come in. Also, Stone, do you want to get out of the way? Otherwise, you're probably going to be hit by the arrows. Okay, well, Stone's really curious about this new child that seems to have the same colored mane as Stone. Stone's like, I've got a vanilla mane. You've got a vanilla mane too. Oh, that's cute. I think that's why Stone's faster. Stone, don't stand in the middle. Don't stand in the middle. That's not good. Also, I actually need Ed to take Twilight out on a ride. So I'm gonna try and get him to do that. I'll try and keep an eye out on Twilight, but Ed has not had any practice with horse riding and he really needs to. So does Charlie, to be honest. Charlie needs to practice his horse riding. And right now, we only have the 1 horse in the family. We had 2 before, but now we just have, 1 horse of age. I might move Wizard back in. I might. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm okay with them just having the 1 horse. I'm not too bothered about it. Okay, how are you gonna go? Eugene does have a lot of practice, though, with archery at this point. Nope, okay, he's still terrible at it. I think this is more important for Charlie to win than it is for Eugene to win. Like, honestly. Charlie over here. I haven't figured out exactly where his meanness comes from or why he's mean to people. Oh, did he win? Charlie, you talented boy. Okay, so he's lived up to his prince status. I feel bad for Eugene. Everyone's just defeating Eugene. Okay, so Eugene is currently 6th in status. Charlie is 5th. So the next one up, I think, is Edwin. Yeah, Edwin's the next one up. So now we're going to get Charlie to challenge Edwin to a contest. So Charlie, abandon all of this. I need you to come down. And now you have to defend your title or your place. I mean, Eugene and Edwin's titles won't change, but this is going to determine what rank Charlie has. Right now, he is the 4th prince. But depending on how he fares against Edwin and his brothers, that could change. Because we don't do, for our werewolves, we don't do the titles when they're young based on their age. We do it based on the strength in the pack. So the rankings that come out of the archery contests. Okay, stay here. Okay, can we play with, yep, Edwin. Challenge him to an archery contest. Although I have to say, Edwin, they're equally matched. These two, they are equally matched. Edwin did quite well when it was his turn. So I'm curious about this. But okay. Come on, Edwin. Let's see what's gonna go on. Edwin is the child from my favorite pairing, but this is one of the things I love as well. The variation we get in appearances and personality. It makes it so that sometimes, the child of a favorite pairing may not end up being my favorite, but then a child from a pairing I don't like, wasn't too fond of, it ends up being my favorite. Like with Harvey and with Charlie, I wasn't too fond of either of their fathers. Like, I was hoping that at the time the queen would breed with Ben, not Claude, but then they gave me Charlie. And then I remember not liking Michael when he was participating in the matches, but then he gave me Harvey. So that's really cool. Okay, he's got the new fang pain. It looks like he's doing well. I can't be too sure though. What are you doing here, Michael? Go away. I don't know what Michael's doing here, but seriously, go away. We don't want you in our vicinity. Oh, Eugene's playing with the horse. That's cute. But are you guys distracting each other? Are you speaking to each other? And Earl's here. Earl's looking at what the kids are up to as well. Look at him. He's actually shooting the target and is actually doing pretty good. Is Charlie talented? I mean, so far, it's wild, isn't it? The fact that the princes, it's as though the royal line is somehow a little bit superior than the nobles because they have somehow managed to rank up. Like the princes, they rise above the lords, but then they more or less have stayed in the age order. If Charlie were to break that, he would definitely shake things up. Okay, no, Edwin's doing well too. He shot that arrow quite well. And now they have a bit of a crowd. People are watching. People are invested. I hope no one else is using the target right now. Oh, Harvey's here. Okay, Harvey's curious now. His youngest brother. Is everyone... Okay, he's shooting the arrows in between their contest. Can you guys leave them alone and let the kids do their thing? Thank you. Look at Charlie. He looks very talented, doesn't he? He seems very talented. He's really he's really missing with the targets. That is so curious. But Harvey came to check up on his brother. I don't know why, when Charlie moved in and I found out he had the mean trait, I had this picture in my mind that Harvey and Charlie would be thick as thieves and they would end up being troublemakers together. If that ends up being a thing, it's gonna make me so happy. It's gonna actually make me so happy. because I mean, the two characters I really like making trouble together. What can be better than that? I honestly don't know. Also, initially, I didn't realize this whole trade thing. I wasn't gonna put it in, so I didn't make any notes about it. But we'll try and complete that. Okay, guys, you're hogging up the flippin'. You're hogging up. Distracting. I mean, Eugene's just hanging around because he was here beforehand. But why is Harvey interested? Harvey, you know what? I feel like Harvey's not here to check up on his little brother. Harvey's here because Eugene is doing a contest, and every time Eugene does something that is going to potentially upgrade his skill, Harvey starts getting nervous. He's like trying to stick close to Eugene and make sure he's as useless as can be. He seems the type of person who would probably be like, you don't need to practice. You're naturally talented. You know, you'll be fine. But he's just saying that because he really hopes that you don't upskill at all. I feel like that's the type of person Harvey would be. And it's raining now. They have like a bazillion reasons to be distracted. Come on, boy. Come on. Let's try and get this done. I also haven't worked out yet whether Charlie is going to be a sole loser or if he's going to be quite, you know, dignified about it. Haven't worked it out. Oh my goodness, abandon the umbrella. Can you just go and do it? Just go and do the flippin'. Okay, hold on. Close the flippin' umbrella. Close the umbrella. Continue with your archery contest, please. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? Why are you guys going in circles? I mean, now it's raining and all hell has broken loose. They just don't know what they're doing, and I don't want to end the contest because I don't want to influence the outcome. Please, guys. Please figure out what's happening. I beg of you. Look at that mean look. Edwin is so happy. He, more or less, has no idea what's happening over here. These three, why are they frozen? Can I get you? Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, these guys seem to have hit a bit of a roadblock, unfortunately. I am going to attempt to fix this. I don't know how I will fix it. Oh, no. Are we moving again? I don't... see, I'm nervous that if I reset Eugene, it's going to reset the other two. Because Eugene is interacting with the same object they're interacting with, and he's also talking to Edwin. Charlie? Can we... You're staring down the target, Charlie. Charlie's taking this very seriously, guys. Very seriously. Can we try not to stare down the target? Okay, I may have to jump back in when Charlie has decided to unfreeze, or when we get an outcome for this particular match, because I don't know how long this is gonna take. So I'll be back in a bit, guys. It is Wednesday morning, and Prince Charlie has finished his match with Edwin. So I did not receive, I ended up resetting because they were just frozen and nothing was happening. So that match wasn't getting an outcome. Unfortunately, we didn't get a notification about, you know, who won, who lost. But I looked at the sentiments of the sims, or the moodlets, not the sentiments, the moodlets. And Charlie didn't have anything over here, but then Edwin, he's got a victory moodlet, so he won that match, which means, guys, that Edwin is now the 4th ranking member of the pack among the boys. Charlie is the 5th ranking member, and Eugene is the 6th ranking member. So now Edwin actually ranks above a prince, which means he officially ranks above every single lord that we have, Which is wild, isn't it? It's wild. I should be happy for him. I really should be happy for him. But I'm kind of bummed out about Charlie. Not gonna lie. I wonder, he hasn't, been overly cruel to anyone right now, but I wonder if he is gonna be upset by this, he's gonna be petty over it, the fact that he is the only prince that ranks below a master. And, this also, I feel like this kind of situation that he's in, one of slight weakness, would make him very, very, endearing to Harvey. Because we know Harvey has a complex where he loves being close to people that he feels are inferior to him. So, I don't know. Anyways, we need to go find Roy. We need to make Roy our enemy, because he wanted to do that, and I don't know why I overlooked that particular want. That was my bad. But, I kind of realized in hindsight that actually, no, we do fulfill the become enemies wants, because they don't have, a specific declare enemy, I think, whim, unless I'm forgetting something. But that is something we do work on. So let's go ahead and talk with Roy, and he is very, very angry right now. Obviously, it's a culmination and combination of many things. The fact that he lost, he's gonna be malicious, he's gonna call him names, he's gonna call his mother a llama, he's gonna mock his outfit. I don't know why he doesn't like Roy. I find it very, very curious that he doesn't like Roy. He's gonna insult him. He's gonna enrage Lord Roy, yell at him, and yes, he's gonna enrage him. Ask what his problem is. Hold on, we want to enrage you, boy. He's gonna enrage him, gonna ask what his problem is. I don't know if you can declare an enemy as a child. Can you do that? Impishly pester. I'm not actually sure if children can. They should be able to. With an adult, declare them their enemy. Oh, yep, declare enemy. Okay, so he is gonna declare Roy to be his enemy, and I feel like by extension he might secretly dislike Elma, because Elma is Roy's son. And does anyone know why he might dislike Roy? I honestly can't tell right now. I don't know why he'd hate Roy so much. Well, whatever the reason is, don't you think now he and Harvey have an extra thing to bond over, their shared secret dislike of Elma? Even though I feel like Elma would always go out of his way to make sure his brothers are well cared for. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Okay. Well, the kids are going to go off to academy pretty soon. Before they do that, I do want to get my notes in. So one of the notes was with Harvey, who wants to chat with Lord Ben. If you guys remember, I think Ben was the second person that Harvey was mean to. Oh my goodness, these guys are in the hot tub just chilling together. Okay. Yeah, so he's in the hot tub with Ralph and Elma. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can... I'm sorry, guys. I had to end your little party here because Harvey wants to chat with Ben. So let's come here and we'll just talk about some logic puzzles. We'll come up and talk. Yes? Yes? Right. So Harvey wants to chat with Ben and ask him to keep an eye on his sister, the Kennel Master. He doesn't want Helen to encourage the youngsters to train on their own, but after his last conversation with her is feeling a little bit too self-conscious to approach her on his own. So he was being mean to Ben, remember, and he was telling Ben that, Ben is nothing, his family's nothing, they're slaves to the royals and all that stuff. Harvey was saying this to Ben, but now Harvey's doing a backtrack, he's backtracking because he's suddenly become insecure, and when he tries to rack his brains, he feels like the only person he can bully into like listening to him, is obviously going to be the people that he's bullied. So that's why he is suddenly being a little bit more amiable with Ben. But okay, you've given your instructions, go to Academy, and who knows if it may work, because Ben, we know that he's more of a lazy personality, and unlike Helen, he doesn't believe in really working for, their family fortune. He feels like the ladies should be able to figure themselves out. He isn't really bothered to do much for them. So I don't know, he may actually bend to Harvey's will. So the other thing we had, are you going to Academy? Are you going to Academy? Good. The other thing we had was with Ada, which, I can't do now because she went to Stargaze and it's the daytime, but we'll go find, where's Jim? Jim. Okay, hold on a second. Let me reset you. Let me find Jim. I don't know what Jim's doing. He's just chilling. Okay, Jim. We're gonna come here and get her to just socialize with Jim. Let's just share people person tips. Yeah. Okay, so she is going to chat with Jim, but she wants to stargaze with him and talk a little bit about their son. She feels like he's on the right path, This is Eugene. She feels like Eugene's on the right path, and even though she doesn't expect him to, he will redeem himself during the succession. Until then, she wants Jim to give their son his support. So this is, some positive chat between parents about Eugene, because even though he's been struggling with the archery contests and everyone's kind of measuring him on that, he actually performed really well with the sword fighting training. So she feels like, even though, she doesn't care about the outcome, he is probably going to end up redeeming himself in everyone's eyes, and, that'll probably make his life easier in the next generation. But until then, they are his parents, and they should try their best to give their support. And I'm pretty sure Eugene, Ed, and Edwin have a good relationship with their fathers. So a lot of the times people, they do hone in on that, and they try and get the fathers to, be a little bit more supportive of their sons. Come on, aren't you going to chat with him? I want you to chat with him, please. Let's come down. Or is he coming up? You're going down. Yes, please chat with him. So then I can at least consider an interaction done. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Okay. Let's see. Right, she's gonna go on down, and I have a flippin' Norton pop-up. Okay. Ignore this. Okay, good. So they're chatting. That makes me happy. We got that done. Next up, we have Julia. So Julia over here, she also wanted to start... Oh, okay. I'm very uncomfortable with her and Michael. But she also wanted to stargaze with Jim. So let's go to Jim. Okay, Ada's had her chat with you. Now you are going to call him over, and you guys are going to discuss some things. Let's see. Gossip about other parents. Yes, you guys go chat. So Julia here, she wants to stargaze with Jim and ask him what Ada spoke about. So recently, she's been feeling like it's hard to get into Ada's head and figure out how she's feeling. Is Ada just unaffected by everything that's happening around her? Or is she unable to open up to Julia about her concerns? Because even though some people, it's mainly been people going up to Ada and saying, it's okay, you did nothing wrong. But Ada herself hasn't opened up to anyone and said that she doesn't like the way people are talking and she feels very pressured by it. They haven't said this. She hasn't said this to anyone. And in particular, she hasn't said anything to Julia. And before, Julia hasn't really, taken note of that too much. But now she's suddenly caring about it, and she's thinking to herself, wait a second, I'm her spouse. Why does she not feel comfortable talking to me about this? And how come she's never opened up about it? And I feel like I'm putting, recently especially, I'm putting effort into closing the gap in our relationship, but it just seems like she's not. Like, she's keeping me at a bit of a distance. She goes through the motions of being, her wife, and she goes through the motions of being married to the alpha and obviously the matchmaker. But we have to remember, a lot of things in Ada's life, just like, her getting thrust into the role of matchmaker by her family, she's been faking. She's been faking a lot of things in life and doing it even though she doesn't want to. And she's done it so long and so much that now she's become relatively good at it and people might not notice. But I think for the first time in a long time, after all these years, Julia is finally becoming genuine with what she wants from, their marriage. And so because she's becoming genuine, she's starting to notice that there is a lack on Ada's part, and things aren't, like, they're not on the same emotional wavelength. So that's kind of what we have been having with these guys. So, okay, I am going to leave these guys be. I feel like the week has been going along fairly quickly. I thought it would take us longer to get through, but we had some exciting things happen with, Charlie coming in. I feel like Charlie's definitely adding a lot more spice to the family, and I'm actually really enjoying that. We are picking up on Wednesday night with some more material from Harvey. I am actually quite happy that Harvey is giving me so much to work with. Although, I will say, I was kind of hoping we would have, slightly more deaths, more drama, some enemyship with Harvey ever since he became a teen, but more or less, things have stayed pretty calm. So, I'm quite happy that Charlie's suddenly come in and he's throwing enemy ships left, right, center, starting with Roy. I think he's going to definitely give us the spice that we need. Do you guys remember in the beginning how much drama we had with the love lives of our werewolves and the alpha, Queen Julia? There was so much drama between them, but now everything's so calm. Oh my goodness, okay, here we go. Harvey is autonomously getting into a fight with Ben? Oh, this is too cool. This is too cool. I'm definitely not going to interrupt it, and I might consider this as part of this whim he had to chat with Lord Ben. But Harvey wanted to chat with Ben and ask him if he's noticed anything out of order. Ben's gonna tell him that he hasn't seen any private training sessions and that Harvey has nothing to worry about. More or less, Ben doesn't see the problem in keeping tabs on his sister, especially because Harvey's a little bit intimidating. I mean, he came out and said all those nasty things to Ben, and then the next time he saw him, he kind of like flipped a switch. So Ben probably has it in his mind now to be careful around Harvey. And who knows, I didn't actually think about this, but Harvey may even have spoken to Ben in private about training with him and helping him to, get his skills up and improve his skills. So that might also be an arrangement that the two of them have with each other, which I think is really, really cool. So why don't we go and we'll chat with him. We'll consider that as part of that interaction we had. And Ada and Julia, they are having a sword fighting session over there. That was so cool though. It kind of fit really well into the story. Okay, but Harvey, he wants to get to know Julia. He's gonna have to wait over here though for Julia to finish this session. But Harvey wants to get to know Julia and close the gap between them. He's jealous of the relationship that Elma has with their mother and feels like he's falling behind. He's been noticing that Julia has taken quite a liking to Ed as well, and that's making him insecure about his place in the pack because Ed is quite a bit younger than him, and it feels like Julia prefers Ed over Harvey, which obviously is not the ideal. So he's gonna come here and he is going to get to know her. He wants to try and take some initiative. He doesn't like the fact that Elma is really close to Julia because, in the future, people might see this and they might start to kind of get behind Elma as the next alpha. Obviously, there is a system in place which is going to decide who's the next alpha, and it's to do with strength, but people are still going to have their opinions and their preferences, and they might not be happy if Elma doesn't get the role, and that could be a problem in the future. So anyways, he is trying his best over here to make sure that people see him in a good light, and for that to happen, the alpha has to see him in a good light, because the alpha's opinion is going to probably influence everyone else's opinion. Now, meanwhile, we have Elma. So the final note was with Elma. So he wants to stargaze with his mother, Queen Julia, and this is exactly what his brother is worried about. We're going to come out here though, and we are going to stargaze with her. Yes, let's get a move on. Okay, nice. So Elma wants to stargaze with Julia and discuss the recent archery contest. He's quite impressed with Edwin for maintaining his status in the pack and sees potential for him in the future. Meanwhile, his youngest brother Charlie will need some work getting his skills up. So Elma, I feel like whenever he talks about people, he never undermines them or talks about them viciously. He sees, where they might be weak, and he tries to think of ways he can help them. He's not disappointed in his brother Charlie at all for, being 5th in the pack, like ranking 5th in the pack. He's not upset at Charlie, or he's not disappointed in Charlie. He's just wanting to figure out how he can help Charlie be better and more in line with, the older princes. But at the same time, he's very impressed with the way that Edwin has defended himself, and he's kind of broken that trend that we had before where the royal blood was seemingly more powerful than the nobles. He's challenged that perception. So Elma finds that he is respecting Edwin even more so for that. And this kind of shows me as well, Edwin definitely is inclined towards being a werewolf. He definitely is. Maybe not in the same way his mother wants him to be, but definitely inclined. And I wonder if this might make Helen a little bit concerned, because the more Edwin gets validated in the werewolf system, he might feel more and more detached to the tragedy that, has befallen his family, and he's not going to want to lean into that side of things and, prove themselves, because the werewolves, they accept him as he is, and he's actually quite successful within the werewolf pack. So he doesn't want to be attached to something, he might not in the future, want to be attached to something that is considered, lowly, or, just not in line with where he may end up. That's something to keep note of in the future as he gets older. Now, something I did not check with Charlie, I want to see who his father figure is right now. So with Charlie, like the other boys, he seems to have a really good relationship with Claude. And by other boys, I mean Edwin, Ed, and Eugene. So the 4 youngest boys have good relationships with their father. The 2 oldest ones, not so much, I think. Right now. Yeah, that is the other thing. Elma, he currently views Claude as his father figure, for whatever reason. That's also probably why he's trying to be so caring towards Charlie, because Charlie's biological father is being kind of fatherly towards Elma right now. So he feels as though he should look out for Charlie even more so, probably, out of gratitude. And something that I was curious about, if we go to, family connections over here, I wanted to see his relationship with his brothers, and it seems as though Elma is really close with Prince Ed, and that's Earl's son. And he has the least relationship with Harvey, Michael's son. So that's kind of curious. They... Oh! They could have a sword fight together? No? No? I think Harvey chickened out. Harvey chickened out. Guys, did you see that? I think that Elma, he kind of thought to himself, actually, the kennel master, said I should try and, like the boys, we should organize more fights within each other or sword fighting to hone our skills more. So he probably approached Harvey and he thought, hey, let's go outside. And, they don't have the best relationship, but he's probably wanting to improve that by sword fighting and training together. And then Harvey chickened out last minute. He walked away, but that very much seems like something Harvey would do. I don't think Harvey wants to, well, one, be at the mercy of Elma, and two, because Elma right now is the most talented out of all the youngsters, and two, he doesn't want Elma to improve with him. That just doesn't make sense to him. So he backed out real quick. Oh my goodness, that was so interesting to me. But yeah, he has the least relationship with Harvey. He's trying from his end, but Harvey's always kept a distance from him, which is intriguing. And for Harvey, he also seems to be closest to Ed. So he seems to be closest to Ed. He likes that brother the best, and he likes Elma the least. We know of this. So old son is doing pretty well. Eugene, he obviously doesn't have any siblings, and if we look at friendships then, okay, so he's not friends with, the 4 kids. So it seems as though he is closest to Elma. Oh, guys. So look at Elma. He's doing so good. He's like taking every chance he can get to sword fight with anyone and everyone, and he's been doing this from a young age. So that he is, he takes his training seriously. He is so alpha material, honestly, guys. But that is unexpected. So basically, we have a bit of a friendship triangle going on here. Harvey considers Eugene his best friend. Who does Elma consider his best friend, actually? Family aside. Who does he consider his... So we're looking at the boys, right? Obviously, he's not close with everyone, but Eugene. Okay. Ooh, this is dramatic. So, Eugene and Elma consider each other best friends, but Harvey considers Eugene his best friend. But it's one-sided. He thinks Eugene is his best friend because he feels superior to Eugene. But that's in his head. But it's not mutual because Elma and Eugene, they mutually respect one another and they enjoy each other's company and they consider each other their best friends. Oh, that is a drama I was not expecting. That is drama I was not expecting. And look at this. Elma won against El. He's so talented. Meanwhile, Ed, which brother does he like the best? He likes Elma. He has a good relationship with all his brothers, but he likes Elma the best. I swear, everyone loves Elma. In terms of friendships, though, oh, so 1, 2, 3, 4, hold on a second, why is everything moving? 1, oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, so he actually is best friends with Edwin. Their relationship is so high, it's so high. Okay, so he's best friends with Edwin, which is really cool. How does Edwin feel about this? Edwin is also, I think, best friends, yes. Oh, that's so cute. Edwin's best friend with Ed as well, and I think their mothers would approve of that. Helen would be very happy with that. Helen wanted them to become close friends. She wanted them to be study companions together, so that worked out really well. Meanwhile, for Charlie considers Edwin his best friend. Okay, so Charlie considers Edwin his best friends. But oh my goodness, the tragedy of this. Guys, can Harvey and Charlie be any more similar? They both think they're best friends with someone who doesn't feel the same about them. Like, it's not mutually happening, it's just on their end. But yeah, he lost to Edwin, and despite that, I think he really came to admire Edwin because of that whole archery thing. To him, it was kind of like, whoa, this is actually a lot harder than I thought it was. And Edwin is so cool for actually winning that and, you know, showing me how it's done. So he kind of admires Edwin, which is why he likes him and thinks of Edwin as his best friend. Ooh, and then in terms of the family, he likes Ed the best. Okay, so he likes the third brother the best out of everyone. Oh, and I think he likes Harvey the next best. For once, there is someone he likes the least. It's Elma, and actually that makes total sense because remember, Charlie hates Elma's father, so obviously he'd like Elma the least out of all his brothers. The drama we discovered. So basically, Elma and Eugene are best friends mutually. Ed and Edwin are best friends mutually. Harvey thinks Eugene is his best friend, but Eugene doesn't feel the same. Charlie thinks that Edwin is his best friend, but Edwin doesn't feel the same. Whoa, okay, mind kind of blown. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.